Okay, I understand that. I know all of you are here for episode 13 and 14 and 15 of the last three episode of the Tom and Brent Storytime season 7. So let's get down to business, Allie. Come on. Mhm. All right, episode 13 of season 7 of the Tom and Brent Storytime. It's definitely upon us, Allie. Season 7, of course. So, so let's get down to business. Thomas and the missing Christmas tree. Thomas is indeed a you know what? We don't need to actually read that. Let's get on with it. Every Christmas there is carol concert on the island of Sodor. A town band played a lot in of people coming and seeing caroled around the Christmas tree. After a while, there is always special treat for the entire children. And this year, the Fat Controller wanted the party and a special celebration. Thomas and the missing Christmas tree alley. It was 2 days before Christmas Alley, and the carol concert, the Fat Controller Alley, a very busy giving order for everyone. For grubbing and polishing ready for the special night. The engines are very exciting. They have been helpful, Ollie, with the entire preparation, Ollie. And now Henry, Gordon, and Tom were waiting at the station for the Fat Controller to get their final order. You all have jobs to do, Ollie, said the Fat Controller. Henry, he said, Ollie, and portly are you in charge of the card and letter and parcel. Gordon, you have to bring the mayor, Ollie. The Fat Controller, Pod, and Bentley, and Thomas. And Thomas, you have the most important job. I want you to set the Christmas tree, Ollie. Doug will look after Annie and Clarabelle until you get back. Until you get back. Thomas beamed with pride. Yes, sir, he said. We'll be able to sing Carol too. We'll see, promised the Fat Controller. That night, the other engine alley gobbled in their shed alley. Why should Thomas go? Rumbled Henry Alley. He can't do anything. Blended green and like me could it do? Or not me, Alley. Agreed Gordon. Anyone else, I think he was the special or something, Alley. But Thomas didn't care, Alley. What they say he had been picking the for the most important job. If only jealous, Alley, he said, and he shut his eyes and went to sleep. The next morning, Thomas set off to fetch the Christmas tree, Alley. It was night to sing carols again, he sighed, as he puffed along on his important mission, Alley. Thomas happened to go slowly, glowing at to go down the line through Edward Station to pick up the tree, Alley. The Fat Controller had said that Thomas had to be back in by tea time, Alley. Thomas picked up the tree safely and set off to return journey. I mustn't be late, he thought. The Fat Controller is relying on me. But it had been snowing again, Alley. Large snowdrift lay ahead. Thomas was not wearing a snowplow. He whistled bravely, and he tried to make his way through. He ran into a snowdrift and tried to turn his wheel, but they were no good. He was stuck. Suddenly, the wind blew the snow all over him, and Thomas was snowed under. Back at the station, it had been snowing too. The workmen rushed off to set their shovel alley to clear a path for the entire visitor. The other engine alley were waiting for Thomas to come back. They waited and waited. Presently, he was stuck in a tunnel. Somewhere, said Gordon. Henry let off steam, shuddering. "Huh," he said. "He more likely better to turn in onto it branch line, or he could have ran into a cow," said Donald. "Silence," said the back controller. "We have known that Thomas had collected the tree safely, but now the snow had brought down the telephone wires. We must determine that Thomas is stranded somewhere near Edward Station." All the engine felt so sorry for poor Thomas. "We are not going to leave him there, sir. We?" asked Douglas. "Certainly not," said the back controller. "We need 2 volunteers to go and find Thomas." All the engine pulled it at once. They wanted to help to rescue Thomas. The twin, Donald and Douglas, were chosen for the job. Quickly, the men bet their snowplow, and their driver and fireman checked each one, and everything was ready for their entire journey. Soon, Donald and Douglas were set off to the rescue, feeling cold but confidently. "Good luck," the other engine whistled. As the twin left the yard and at the junction, they met Toby and Percy and Duck. "The back controller had canceled all trains until Thomas is found," said Duck. "So take care. Come back safely with Thomas and the missing Christmas tree," added Toby, giving the final blast on its whistle just for luck. Donald and Douglas put in bravely on, but the snow was getting thicker now. They struggled through Edward Station. Donald wanted to actually stop for a rest, but Douglas wouldn't let him, Ollie. "What if Thomas is lying hurtfully somewhere?" he said. Great snowdrift lay across Gordon Hill again and again. Donald and Douglas found their snowplow into the deep snow, and each time they managed to move slowly forward. They have drew back and put for Britain, Ollie. "What that?" hinted Douglas. "I can hear something. Very veteran coming a muffling. Help, help. Heard in the wind. Probably the wind," answered Donald. "No, listen," said Douglas. "Help over here." "Oh, it's Thomas," they cried together. "Come on," said Douglas. "Let's get him out of there. He must be frozen and it rained in there." The man began Allie to drag the snow away, and Tom and his driver and fireman were taking shelter near a nearby cottage, came to help out too, Allie. It was not long before as they dug Thomas and the missing Christmas tree out from the snow. Thomas was pleased Allie to see the twins Allie, but he was feeling cold and miserable. The man coupled behind Donald and Douglas Allie, and they all set off to the journey home, Allie. When the engine arrived at the station, everyone glad Thomas had shown him warm welcoming and had begun to quite cheerful again, Allie. The Christmas tree was quickly unloaded and put into the chopper and also the garland, and also the Carol Counter Alley was greatly rushing to get to the station, ready to be on time, and the mayor and the visitor came to crowding in, and everyone looking splendid. The back controller stood in front of the engine. As a reward for all your hard work today, he said, smiling and going to enjoy the carol. Be quick now. Yes, sir, they all said the engine. We seen, said Jane, and letting out steam because he would plead the back controller paused. Kindly to remember, Allie. Remember that. This is a special occasion. But your best behavior, Allie, wanna know even whistling, please. The engine took their place at Allie at the good old Carol concert alley. One, two, three. Boomed the back controller, and suddenly the magic the station was flooded with light, and there was a Christmas tree, decorating with carol and limping stars and laughter. Then the back controller shouted, "Three cheers for Thomas the Tank Engine and his friend." And everyone clapped and cheered, and the engine were delighted. Jane was so excited, Allie, to let out the great wishing. Everyone laughed, and this time, not even the back controller seemed to May very much. Suddenly, there was a strange wiggling sound, a strange wiggling noise. It suddenly came from the sky, and there was landing light shining brightly. Was Harold the helicopter, and he came down gently in the snow. He came down gently in the snow, and out stepping a figure wearing a red coat. Everyone cheered. It was Father Criminale. He handed out the present to all the children and also thanking Allie. The engine for the wrecking and Thomas had saving the missing Christmas tree, and happy Christmas, Thomas, to all your friends, he said. The carol party was the great Idrin, and after war, Thomas and Percy went back to the shed together. It was no fun getting stuck in the snow with for Thomas and Percy, but it was a work for the party. Happy Christmas, Percy. Happy Christmas to everyone. Well, there you have it, folks. That was the story of Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree Alley, featuring from the hit Thomas DVD, Thomas at Christmas Wonderland, Thomas at Noe Surprise, and Thomas at Ultimate Christmas Alley. The three DVDs Alley, Baking Off Alley on those hit stories Alley. Well, this this is it, you guys. We're down to only two more episodes of season 7 of the Tom and Friend Storytime series. What will happen in episode 14 of the Tom and Friend Storytime season 7? Well, that you have to wait and see.